Well, good evening, Ghoulies, and we've got a great treat on this very special segment I'm calling In Search of Toulouse. Yes, I am talking about Toulouse Nonek from Milwaukee, the fabulous 1980s horror host that was on Shock Theater during the day. And, well, we wouldn't tease you with all that without some clips of Toulouse Nonek, as well as a little bit of Milwaukee horror host history, and that would be starting from Cadaverino, Dr. Cadaverino, of course, and then later Toulouse. Well, interesting thing about this special segment of Where is Toulouse? We need you back. The press is looking for you. Movie makers are looking for you. Toulouse Nonek, we need you to return. But what I could get tonight is the one and only, well, we're calling him the Beard.
I know this is weird, but I'm known as the Beard.
Now, you kind of look like Dr. Cadaverino just a little bit to me. Is there any, what's going on there, buddy?
Well, back in the day, my mom got around a lot, you know? I got it, maybe, you know?
Wow, you never know. It's kind of weird, but we got the beard. Anyway, Mr. Beard, you being the accommodating, multi-talented, edgy sort of artist that you are, you also wear a very interesting werewolf about here in Kenosha, and several appearances, but the first one we want to talk about, of course, is your appearance on the Dr. Cadaverino show. What year was that, and what was it like to be in the room with the man?
1975, Jack DeBlond. I wrote him a letter at the television station, and he said, "Come on down, kid." I think I was maybe 21 years old at the time. Long time ago.
And now you had been doing this werewolf, which is quite contemporary. I hope we have some pictures coming up there for you, Ghoulies. We never know with the technology we do without around here what we're going to be able to come up with. But you're a very contemporary werewolf, and you were pretty scary because I, as a kid, saw you at the Roosevelt Theater dressed as that werewolf. So what was Jack DeBlond like? How'd you get hooked up with him?
Letter writing. I wrote him a letter. It's just like, how do I get on your show? You got to know somebody. You write a letter and you're invited in. But back in 74, I wrote the television station, Channel 6, a letter. And next thing you know, Miss Nightmare was picked. Coincidentally, the girl was from Kenosha. And then we had Doctor in town at the UAW Hall for a Halloween costume party.
In Kenosha?
Yes.
So Dr. Cadaverino was in the wilds of Kenosha. Wow, you know, anything's possible. I did see Sven Gulli at the Roosevelt Theater. Okay, so you got to meet Cadaverino. Did you get any inside tips? Anything that you might be able to use now with your own show? It's weird, here's the beard.
No, Jack was just a great guy, and he said, just keep doing it, kid. That's all you can do. And I went on from doing Dr. Cadaverino's show. I did some things with Frank Carmichael and the Kentucky State Fair. I did some other personal appearances locally, and then later went on to Hey Zombie Friends.
All right, now before we jump ahead with that, we do have a clip here if you want to see who Dr. Cadaverino is, and maybe who your papa is. Who knows? We don't know here. But here it is, Ghoulies, a very rare clip of the one and only Dr. Cadaverino.
Welcome to Nightmare Theater. And now your host, Dr. Cadaverino.
Hey, Iggy, for crying out loud, you're not living there in the slums here. This is class, baby. You don't act like some kind of a slob. They can act like a slob, but you don't act like a slob. That's terrible issue. Now that we finally made it, baby, you don't go around looking like some kind of a... That's right. Straighten up. Oh, you know what? You got the wrong kind of friends around this place. They all follow you from the old neighborhood. Ah, ladies and gentlemen, it's indeed a most unique... I can't say pleasure because it's never a pleasure for me to be with you on these kind of nights, but it is a unique difference to be able to...
Yeah, you're unique too.
Ah, shut up! You see what they're doing? They're throwing stuff at me.
Wow.
Yeah, well, you know, you can tell they're not part of this unique neighborhood. We are very happy to be able to say hello to you, to greet you from surroundings that befit our station in life. It's not just dump. It's a very nice place. It's costing me plenty of bucks, too. I got special compensation. What? No, not dispensation. I got special compensation from Channel 6. They finally gave me an extra $6 a week so I can afford surroundings to which I have been accustomed in previous years. But on the other hand, the movies are the same bad pieces of you-know-what. Yes, yeah, but this one has a special warm place right here in my heart. It's called Fiend Without a Face. No, that's right. See, some people like it, some people barf. That's all right, you expect both. But this one, it stars the inimitable man of Marshall Thompson. Shut up, I pronounce it the way I want to. You all remember Marshall Thompson?
I knew him when he was a sheriff.
In the unforgettable television series from ABC called,
Yeah, what do you want?
you remember, all of you remember the series. Thank you very much.
There's no door in your house.
Yeah, don't worry about the door in my house.
Doctor.
Just so you can't get in here. That's the main thing. Now, what I want, who else is in this? Marshall Thompson.
Reminiscing there.
Excellent.
It was interesting to see
Excellent
Papa.
footage.
No, I mean, it was interesting to see him again, wasn't it? Jack DeBlond, one of my favorites. I would have to wait until 1 in the morning to watch him on Channel 6. And you were up so late at night, you were scared you were going to get yelled at for having your TV on. And from what I understand, there's a lot of people up in Milwaukee and around this area that know all about that. Well, in horror host history in Milwaukee, a surprising thing happened. Another host appeared and was the one and only Too Loose No Neck showed up on the scene. Well, he was a wild and crazy guy, and he too had a crazy beard and fangs and a top hat. And a lot of people thought, though, that he was trying to actually emulate Dr. Cadaverino. But what they didn't know, because I talked to Rick Felsky personally, and you might have seen that video. That's in a later episode of Where is Too Loose? Anyway, he never knew about Dr. Cadaverino because he was from another town. So they couldn't hold that against him. As a matter of fact, he didn't even know he was going to be a horror host. He simply showed up for work one day at Channel 6 and was milling around the studio. And guess what happens? He walks in and he sees this horror set up. He goes, oh, what's this? This looks really cool. And they go, don't you know this is for a horror host show? And you're the host. So literally he made up the character in the bathroom like that day or the next day and didn't even know what he was going to call himself and saw a picture or a calendar it was, of Too Loose Lautrec. And he goes, Too Loose, No Neck. And there you go. A legend was born. Now you also were involved with Too Loose No Neck as the werewolf. Again, how did that come about, and what do you remember from then?
Another letter writing campaign. I actually did that as the Werewolf of London. And I'd like to find out if anybody's got some of that old. I know I had some of that old footage.
Well, we're looking for your footage, which we may be able to bring. This is going to be an ongoing segment, a YouTube video extraordinaire. This is national broadcast material. These people are waiting for all this horror host information, right? And their mothers are waiting for them to finally move out of the basement. But that's another story. They're waiting for this stuff.
What year was it when Rick was in Kenosha? Was that late or early?
It was 1982 because I went down there with my band, the Dead Leathers, and I still have the promo card he signed to the Dead Leathers. It's in my monster scrapbook with other host signed stuff as well as all those creature feature clippings. They used to announce the movie in the TV guide, Dracula 1 Week. Wolf, I got a bunch of those too for a later episode.
Because back in the day, it was my invitation after doing his show. I said, we got our crazy days in Kenosha. He said, I'm in. I'm coming down. So he did.
Well, he was a wild and crazy guy.
Hey, zombie friends, I got a scary movie for you today.
Now, we've got a very rare clip of Too Loose No Neck coming up here, of him in the kitchen. He's cooking. He did a little cooking segment, and it looks like he might actually be on a cooking show set from Channel 12, which we was on in Milwaukee. So let's just roll that right now, and we'll be right back with more of Where's Too Loose?
Hi, zombies! Just cut a few cucumbers for that fantastic dessert I told you about. Yeah! Well, it sounds to me like it's done. Boy, I can't wait! Boy, I bet you guys have never seen anything like a cucumber pie. Ooh, my favorite. Got the pie, it's all ready. Put a few cucumbers in there. Boy. Oh, Terry, come here a moment. Boy, I gotta see what she likes in pie. I always like to get the viewers' response on new cooking ideas. Terry, what do you think about cucumber pie, huh? Isn't that bad? Well, zombies, I guess you can't win them all. So until next week, goodbye! Oh, you crazy zombies. Boy, I think that this is a shaving cream.
And when he was the werewolf. And by the way, I have to say, for authenticity, this show was filmed on a full moon. Okay, just throw that in there. I hope you enjoyed that footage of Toulouse. Now you pointed out that I said he started at 6. I didn't mean this TV station. He started at 6 p.m. for work that night.
Yep.
Anyway, we got lost a little bit there. Now you said the Wolfman actually met Wolfman Jack too.
Yeah, when he was at Great America one day, took a photographer with me, a briefcase, and next thing I know, I'm sitting in the back of his limousine. What a guy.
So in all your years of being the werewolf on stage at the Roosevelt Theater, which really, they were kind of doing like Dr. Silkini's horror show. Dr. Silkini had rolled through, and then Carmichael said, I can rip this guy off. And then they started doing the shows with the,
Bojangles.
Bojangles, the clown came out, but then I saw you there as the werewolf. In that old presentation of vaudeville and, the sideshow aspect with the horror element, and then with, the whole, I had to tell you that Sven Gulli was there too. So they had that horror vaudeville thing going on. How does that feel to have been part of such a great genre and a good time and having met these two awesome horror hosts?
Well, absolutely. I hope it made you the man you are today, because you are the man.
Well, I always said that I really kind of obsessed over that stuff when I was a kid, but I don't think it had any long-term effects on me, so I'm good,
Absolutely.
All right, Ghoulies, I hope you enjoyed this little segment. More to come on our new exciting weekly web program, Toulouse, where are you? The search for Toulouse continues. Oh, here we are, Ghoulies. And well, we had quite a fantastic week last week when Mr. Mephisto came and visited us.
Yeah, and this little box that doesn't talk anymore.
Well, he's looking for someone to rent out that box space, so could be pretty cool. But, it was quite amazing to get an interview with the man who was Mephisto, Dick Flanagan. Yeah. And we did that. We held back on showing that footage. But, of course, more than anything, what I thought was great about meeting Dick was that, he was such a cool, fun guy and pretty much the epitome of the kind of actor it takes to make a good horror host.
Yeah.
And it was a very candid interview, and we're presenting that now for the first time.
Oh, that's great.
It should be a YouTube exclusive, hitting the, it's not airwaves, whatever YouTube
No,
is.
it's digitized stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The cloud.
Digitized. It's a digitized cloud.
Yes.
All right, I thought that just hung over my castle, that cloud.
Oh, that's the black cloud with the lightning bolts.
Ah,
That's
very
what
good,
that
very
is.
good. Anyway, it was a stunning interview. More to come. Of course, we will be celebrating